Peter runs a successful business. His consumer healthcare products was a top seller and sales were greater than he expected. So why wasn't he happy? Well, like most businessmen, Peter wanted to expand his product line and leverage his brand. His current product mix, no matter how great and revolutionary, simply was not enough. He wanted to see more shelf space devoted to his product line, not just the products he was selling now. He'd done some research but really wasn't content with any of his discoveries. He found one company with potential, but they only would help him develop a product. He'd be on his own to find a suitable manufacturer. Another company showed great promise, but they lacked development expertise and offered nothing innovative. Not to mention, with the questionable regulatory history, he feared their reliability as the true supply chain partner he was looking for. Unsure what to do, Peter decided to call up a colleague from his days in university and see if he couldn't pick his brain a bit. He figured two heads were better than one, and besides, it would be good to see Brian after all these years. After a few drinks, they'd forgot they were competitors, and Brian began to open up about the secret to his brand's recent string of successful product launches, and the best-kept secret he'd been keeping from his good friend. He called it his FS, his formula for success, and joked that after all the partners he'd tried, he wanted to keep these guys to himself. As the evening progressed, Peter thought the time was right, and asked Brian again to share what he means by his FS, and what did he mean about his formula for success. And with that, Brian began to tell his secret FS story. So there's this company out there, a company like none other. I used to think it was too good to be true. Then I got to see how they work. You see, FS is a company. No, I mean a partner that can innovate and formulate and create all the way from concept to market. Of course, that sounded a little too good to be true, so Peter probed for their name. Erring on the side of secrecy, Peter would not speak their name, only write it down on a piece of napkin. He wrote formulatedsolutions.com. No further word was spoken about the secret that night. But the next morning, Peter decided to look them up. And much to his surprise, Brian was indeed telling the truth. FS stood for Formulated Solutions, and Peter knew he had only one thing to do. So he hopped on a plane, headed to Florida to tour their facility. It was true. All of it. They would work with him from ideation to concept through product development, including analytical methods, stability, and process validation. And with a long history of 483s, they were the perfect manufacturing and supply partner. If he wasn't in their facility seeing it for himself, he would have never believed it. Shortly after his successful visit, Peter began to work with the project management team and FS's development team to expand his product line. And now, just a year later, Peter has more than doubled his sales and shelf space in major retailers around the world. His discovery and partnership with Formulated Solutions changed his life, and they are now working on the next product. And to this day, when Peter and Brian meet for their little reunion dinners, Brian asks what they talked about that pivotal night, because he can't seem to remember. Peter just smiles and says, "Oh, nothing much. Just your little FS secret."